saga of the soul, the journey of the soul. And today's discussion mainly will be the search for the root according to Indian philosophy. Let us begin with the prayer. Naham manushyo nacha deva yakshaha na brahmana kshatriya vaishya shudraha na brahmachari na grihi banastava bhikshu nacha aham nija bodha sarupa. And that is the goal of our soul, the nija bodha sarupa, to know. So there, that point we will be reaching through knowledge. And we have already discussed that this journey needs a lot of inspiration, because it is a very difficult journey. When you go to different places, there is no problem. We purchase a ticket and we go to that destination. Maybe that before that we get the visa or any other things. That is very easy. But when we are talking about our own soul, which is hidden within our own self, is so very difficult to reach over there. How we can go? So different sources, different routes we have discussed. In the first, there's the inspiration is necessary because the journey is difficult. So the inspiration was charaibeti, charaibeti. Whatever comes before you, move on, move on. Then we discussed the route according to the Vedas, because Veda is the source of knowledge. By the words Veda, it doesn't mean a book, but a repository, a treasure house of knowledge. And that knowledge also came not from the intellectual, but by revelation, realization. That is something very special. When we can feel, we can realize within the heart, that is a totally different type of knowledge, experience. When we see something and intellectually we feel, that is a different thing. So this is very, very important. And according to the Veda, we have discussed, and next we have discussed already the views of the different religions. Then now at this point we will be discussing, today we will be discussing about the philosophy, Indian philosophy. And it says the foundation of philosophy is experience, and the chief tool used is reason. So these two words we must keep in mind. The foundation of philosophy is experience. There are so many philosophies. Even maybe after some time, my followers, if there is someone follow me, they will develop a philosophy of Swami Ishatmananda. They may, there is no problem. But what does the philosophy mean? It's the experience. It's not the jugglery of words. It's not the arrangement of many other things. It's the experience. And what is that experience? Realization. So here we find that Manu Samhita, it says Samyak Darshana Sampanna, Samyak Darshana Sampanna Karmobhihi Nadibadhyate. A man of realization becomes free from all works and its result. Samyak Darshana, that is very important. When the darshana, the revelation, the realization of the truth has come directly, then if the whole world goes against, it doesn't matter. That's why Swami Vivekananda is telling, are you ready to oppose the whole world if they are opposing you with the open sword in hands. So that is the courage. I know the truth. Even if you don't accept it, if you are taking it in a different way, it doesn't matter. So that is called I know the truth. And we know so many, they were killed because the other people, they could not understand. The truth that they said, Swami Vivekananda said again, truth does not pay homage to the society. Society has to pay homage to the truth. That is they are bold statements. The society may think, society means a group of people, they may think in a different way, but that doesn't mean that they are correct. Why? Revelation, realization, and they are fearless. So here we find the foundation of philosophy is experience, and the chief tool used is reason. It's not the emotion. Oh, I saw the light, I saw this, I saw that. In a dream, someone came and told me, but it's not that. It's the reason. The most of the people, that is the difficulty when I go to different places. Recently, they invited me, I went to meet the ambassador of India. So he came over here, so I went. Then the people were asking, are you the same as the Hindu temple Lemont? I told, of course we are same, but they only display the ritualistic part of Hinduism, and we propagate the philosophical part of Hinduism. So this is the only difference. Even the Hindus, they come and they say, Mandir kahan? Where is your temple? When you show, this is our temple. Oh, ye to library jaise hai, temple kahan? So that is, it is just like a library. Where is the temple? That is the problem, because is reason. Why we are worshipping Sri Ramachandra? Why we are calling this God in this name? Why we are breaking coconuts? Why we are doing the arati in this way? Why the Hindus are applying all these why? Reason, reason, reason. Do you believe that if you go to the temple, you will be protected by God? 100%? Ask yourself. So we don't need the protection of God, we want to know God. So in English they say, if you are a devoted person, God-fearing person. But I always feel like telling, no, God-loving person. Because we love God. Why? Because that is myself. So this is the reason. Here we find the foundation of philosophy is experience, and then the chief tool used is reason. Now, an introduction to the Indian philosophy is a wonderful book by Satchidananda Chatterjee and Dhirendra Mohan Datta, very old book that was there in the University of Calcutta. They used to study that, and they have given in a very simple way the Indian philosophy, the main source of my today's talk, maybe next again, because I don't know whether I will be able to complete the whole philosophy today. Indian philosophy, there are 6 Indian systems of philosophy, you know. Shada Darshana, they call in Sanskrit. Shada means 6, Darshana means philosophy. So here again there are 2 branches. School rejecting Veda, they are also Hindu, and we are not killing them. No problem for us, you will listen. So that is the wonderful, the thing that India, particularly Hindus, they developed. They are not the followers of the Veda, and they rejected Veda. That's called heterodox, Nastika, who are Charvaka, Buddhist and Jains. They are heterodox, and the orthodox, they call them Nastika because they don't believe in the words of the Veda. And these are three only: Charvaka, Buddha, Buddhist and Jains. And schools accepting Veda, they are orthodox or Astika. And this school based on independent way of thinking, they are Samkhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaishashika. In those who are Astika, who believe in the words of Veda, there are mainly small difference in two. That one is they only believe in the words of Veda and nothing else. And another group, they say we based on Veda, but still we judge. Suppose Veda says the milk is black, shall we accept it? No, because we don't find milk is black, it cannot be. So that is why you should not lose the judgment, your own judgment. So they again say like this: school based on independent judgment, they are first Samkhya, then Yoga, then Nyaya and Vaishashika. They are the four. And school based on Vedic text, they are two. One is ritualistic again. So see how it goes. First is the Indian philosophy, 6 systems of Indian philosophy. And then in the philosophy there is a heterodox, Nastika, and orthodox, Astika. What is Nastika? Because they do not accept the authority of the Veda. And they are three. One is Charvaka, then Buddhism, Jainism. And the orthodox, they are again, first is they accept the authority of the Veda, but at the same time they don't like to give up their own reasons. They are Samkhya, Yoga, Nyaya and Vaishashika. They are more independent. And then another school, that's called school based on Vedic text, but one is ritualistic, another is discriminative. The one is Mimamsa, another is Vedanta. So they call it Purva Mimamsa and Uttara Mimamsa. Again, Purva Mimamsa means Mimamsa, and another is Uttara Mimamsa means Vedanta. So we are mainly concerned with the Vedanta, which again based on Samkhya. They are all interconnected, and how it goes like this. Let us see. The philosophy of a country is the cream of its culture and civilization, because it is a thought. They are thinking, and then they are giving the judgment. How the creation came, what is the philosophy actually dealing? Only three things: one, creator, creation, and the relation between the two. That's all. Who is the creator? What is the creation? What is the relation? Now, every time there will be creator, creation and the relation. Suppose someone has created, cooked some dish, and what is this relation? He wants to feed someone or sell or eat. So the food and the cook and the relation, maybe he wants to give it to someone, maybe he wants to accept himself, or maybe he is going to sell it to. So these are the type, always, every time in our life, there is the three things: someone creating something, and then how that creation is properly utilized. What is the relation? So here we find the famous French philosopher Victor Cousin. I don't know whether I am pronouncing the name properly or not. Cousin in English. He is mentioning clearly human civilization and high philosophy was born in India, and we are grateful to her. The core of all philosophies is present in India only. This French philosopher, he is writing. Then Sir Monier Williams, in his book Brahmanism and Hinduism, he wrote, I won't hesitate to say that more than 2000 years of Spinoza and Charles Darwin, Hindus knew about evolution. So, creation and evolution. Creation, something is not there, it is absent. So, we are making it new creation. And already there, now just coming up, projecting evolution. Now, this evolution theory, Spinoza and Darwin, and he says, Monier Williams, that it was there 2000 years before of these people. And we find in the Taittiriya Upanishad, he has not given the reference. The reference was in a different place. In the Taittiriya Brahmananda Balli, it says, Kramik Abhibhakti. Kramik means gradual, Abhibhakti evolution. Gradual evolution. How? Tasmad ba etasmad atmana akasha sambhutaha. When the Sanskrit they pronounce, they always pronounce in a beautiful way so they can remember. Tasmad ba etasmad atmana akasha sambhutaha. The sky was born from what? Atmana, that Brahman. From that, etasmad akasha. First is the space. Akashat vayoho. From the space, air. Vayuragnihi. From the vayu, fire. Agni apaha. And from that apa is coming. Apa means water. Adbha prithivi. And from the water is coming the earth. Prithibhya ausadhayaha. Then the vegetation. And then comes aushadibhya anyam. Then the food. From that vegetation is coming the food. Anyat purushaha. So, this is very clear. How the creation came? It came down to this, step by step, from the space. Akasha doesn't mean the sky that you mentioned, it's a space. That is from there. From that Atman, Tasmad va etasmad, from that Atman or Brahman. These are the two words usually they use. Produce the space, from space air, from air to fire, from fire to water, from water to earth, and from earth to herbs, and from herbs to food, and from the food the human being. So, not only human being, they mention only that the Nara or the Manava, but actually all being. The vastness of the space, time of this world is the background of Indian thought and inspiration of its moral and metaphysical outlook. Vastness. That is why Brahman, Vistareti Brahma, Vistara. And when the moment we say Vistara, we think is a vast. How vast it is, we don't have any idea. Whenever we talk about the very, very vast, we look at the sky, but the sky has a limit, at least over here. When you see a vast field, we feel joy. Certainly, when you are going out, a green, big field, we feel joy. Why? Because our originality is that vastness everywhere. So, that is why the vastness, how vast, that we will try to understand. The vastness of the space and time is the background of Indian thought and the inspiration of moral and metaphysical outlook. Why moral? Because we are constantly thinking in a very little way. Now, the Friday, Saturday and Sunday, one Swami has come, Ishtanandaji from Florida. he is giving a discourse on Isha Upanishad, and this Isha Upanishad, the very first sloka, Isa Vastyamidam Sarvam. Isha, in different way they explain, Isha, the God or the Brahman or the Atman, is covering everything. Idam Sarvam, this everything. And this is the speciality, everything, they are mentioning everything. The minutest being, all the thing, everything is covered by the stone, the tree, the plants, the animals, the insects, everything is covered by that Isha. So that vastness, we cannot imagine, and that is why the Hindus conceive images. As because we cannot imagine the vastness, Vishnu, the Vistareti Vishnaha, from where the things are coming, is a Vishnu. So first is the philosophy, then we are thinking about, oh no, other people won't be able to, only very few can. Those who are reading or have read the biography of Swami Vivekananda, there is an incident. Then when the young boy Narendranath was sitting near Sri Ramakrishna touched him. And then he saw that that Narendra is going and melting, mixing with a vast. Then he started shouting, what you have done to me? I have my father, I have my mother, I have a family. Then Sri Ramakrishna touched again and told, okay, now up to this, it is all right. He was seeing the purity, the mental condition, the purity. Sometimes some people, they will come and they will donate something, and then afterwards they will comment, I feel really sorry for them, Asraddhaya adeyam. If you don't have faith, don't give, please. Asraddhaya adeyam. It is not me, is our Veda is telling. The Veda says Asraddhaya, when you don't have the faith, the love, the respect, don't give. I didn't beg, I didn't ask. They came, and our ashrama goes on donation. He came and he wanted to donate, then he commented something. Anyway, so then I feel really very bad. Why? Because very worldly people, we should not touch their things. So worldly minded people, one should not touch. So that is the way people think, and what these worldly things are going to happen. When we compare with this vastness, how vast it is. The old Western belief that world was created 6,000 years ago. Now that has been shaken by the discoveries of Darwin. The science of astronomy generating the belief in the vastness of the universe. According to the modern astronomy, the sun is a mere speck in the universe, and Earth is less than 1/1,000,000th part of the sun. And we are thinking, I am somebody. When we are coming and trying, when the plane is over here, and we see before touching so many houses, small, just like the children they play, like that, hundreds of houses are there. Sometimes I see, and then and then inside the house there is one tiny person, and that tiny person is thinking, I am somebody. And he is putting maybe the oil on his nostrils, I am somebody. So that we are thinking, and that is the foolishness. We should have to think about the vastness according to this. Now, interestingly, when the science, the astronomy is telling like that, the Vishnu Purana, the part 2nd and the chapter 7th, we find this expression of vastness. And it says, Brahmanda, the world, contains the 14 regions or lokas. Earth is the earth, it's called Bhutala, is only one of such lokas and is separated from others, each other, by tens of millions of yojana. And again, the infinite universe is conceived as containing thousands of millions of such worlds, Brahmandas. And so many Brahmandas, and they call it because, in those days they have seen the bird's egg. Anda means egg, so Brahmanda. So this is also like an egg, Brahmanda. And in these, so many things are there. 14 lokas are there. Bhutala, Patala, etc., etc. Many of you in that Purana. And that each and every one is separated. Every 14 is separated from so many yojanas, miles after miles, that is separated. And again, that type of universe are so many. So that is the vastness of time, like the modern scientist. Now that was the physical vastness and the time. Like the modern scientist, Indian thinkers could not describe it by common human units. And the unit adopted for measurement of cosmic time is a day of the Brahma, the creator. Now when you read this, we laugh at them. Oh, see what type of things that they are doing. But now as the science is developing, proving. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, many other thinkers, thoughts, schools of thoughts are afraid of science. But Vedanta is very happy. Why? Because whatever we thought, our rishis thought, that has been proved by the scientist, modern scientist. Here when you see the vastness of time, and it is how the unit they could not measure. So each day of Brahma, the creator, is equal to 1000 yugas or 432 million years of human. 432 million years of human is that 1000 yugas, and that is one day of the Brahma. And there are all stories will be immediately some people to make it. So one person, he was very greedy, and he said and practiced tapasya, and then Brahma came, Brahma the creator. So he was meditating on sir, calm, sir. Then Brahma came. He told, what do you want? And he said, see, I want to suffer only for one day, and rest of my life I'll have to enjoy. And then Brahma understood that he is trying to deceive him. He said, okay, but that day should be calculated as my day. Now, and that fool, he couldn't understand that what is going to happen. He said, your day, my day, same, no problem. So he thought like that. So he said, okay, no problem. So after one day, I am going to enjoy all through my life, right? Right. Now you just suffer. And then he is that life, next life, it goes on continuously. And he was thinking what is happening. Then Brahma told, I told my day, and my day means 432 million years of human. So you have to go on suffering. Just that way the stories they try to explain. Each night of the creator is cessation of activities, means destruction or chaos. The last day, the judgment. Last day of judgment, the day of judgment they call. And sometimes the people they will be shouting, oh, day of judgment has come. Don't worry. 432 million years. That will be the day of the Brahma. then it will be the night. That is the cessation. Now, let us think how they were understanding this. That means some conception was there, and that came through realization. The Sri Ramakrishna, in his very simple way, he told, why you are trying to understand how much property this landlord is having. And if you are inquiring from here, there, how they will know? You better make a friendship with the landlord. First you go to him, and then if he is impressed, then he will become friendly, then he himself will tell you. That means go to God, realize God, and then you will know everything. Brahmavid, Brahmaiva bhavati. The moment you realize as Brahman, you yourself is Brahman, and you will understand everything you did not to ask. And in another place he said, the life is short. So don't waste your time all this. Try to realize. Swami Brahmananda ji said, when you have an inquiry about God, realize God. And then make yourself prove or disprove that there is no God. Try that. So that is all the time encouraging. Why? The vastness of time. It is impossible. This alternating days and nights, this alternates going on, creation and destruction, Srishti and Pralaya, from the beginning of the series. When the Da beginning is not telling, they are not mentioning, it is Da beginning. It is a series. So when the first creation came, the Hindus always, they believe on the karma phala. So in your last birth, you did some karma, good or bad. Now the result, phala, the result is coming, good or bad. So when you are suffering, that is the result of that karma. When you are enjoying, the result of this karma. So when we are starting in the beginning of our monastic life, is in 1975, and the Swamiji who has passed away recently at the Portland Swami, he came many times over here, Shantarupananda ji, he was teaching us. Then I told the Swamiji, I have a question. What is that? When the first I was born, my mind was a tabula rasa, my mind was a clean slate, and I did nothing. That was the first birth. He said, you can go on prolonging the pronunciation fast, but there is nothing fast. And Swami Vivekananda, afterwards I read, he said, Hindus are bold enough to say, we do not know. When the first creation came, Hindus are bold enough to say, we do not know. Here we find that in the Philosophies also they say, it is not possible to ascertain the first beginning of creation. There is nothing like the absolute first in a series. With this overwhelming idea of the vast universe and vast time, Indian philosophy tried their best to explain the creation. Now the Indian philosophy, the first we will start with Charvaka. Charvaka philosophy, Charu Baka. Baka means words. Charu means very sweet. So when someone is explaining something to you in a very nice way, interesting way, we always like, oh, that's good. Maybe that he is criticizing you, but in a very nice way. So we like it. Afterwards we realize he was criticizing, but that moment we don't. Similarly, here also we find this Charubaka system that it says that Ajita Kesha Kambali is the creator of this system of Charvaka 600 years BC. Before the Christ, 600 years Christ, before that, he created this one, this Charvaka. But mostly common people, they will call Charvaka Muni, Charvaka Rishi. It's a system, Charubaka, but they say that originated actually from the Lokayata and the Brihaspatya. These are the two names. Lokayata for the ordinary people, Loka people. So, Lokayata for the ordinary people, or Brihaspatya. Maybe someone whose name was Brihaspati, he started this, but they say, na, Ajita, he started. Whatever. The creator of this philosophy hold that perception is the only valid source of knowledge. Now the philosophy, very interesting. The whenever you are trying to prove something, you have to give the reason. Why I am telling this? This is the reason. You know that in the philosophy in the beginning is a reason only. And how we get the knowledge? Through different, that is the main differences. The 6 systems of Indian philosophy, the main differences only on these, perception or others. These people, they believe only in perception. What is the perception? The direct knowledge through our organs. So, the organs are mainly these 5 knowledge. So, when we see something, we only believe that. When you hear something, when you touch, when you smell, when you touch, except these, Charvakas won't believe anything. But we know from our experience, there are many things, even after when we see something directly, there may be a mistake. When you hear, mistake. When you listen, mistake. So, that way there are many. So, direct perception also cannot give a right answer. Long back, I was a brahmachari. I went in a place in Calcutta, the youth club. So, after the lecture, someone raised a hand and told, Swamiji, I don't like to believe anything which I cannot see with my own eyes. At that time, the age was, I was also young. I told, then you have to believe that you don't have any eyes. Why? Because you never could see your eyes with your own eyes. Can we? No. We cannot take out the eyes and can focus on us. Oh, I am like this. Then you can fix it. So, eyes is also over here. Then how can I see? Through reflection. I go and stand before a mirror and then we see the reflection only. I see many other people, they are also having the same eyes. I believe. So, perception, inference. Inference means as because all are having the eyes, 2 eyes, I am also having 2 eyes because I am also a human being. I must be having that. When I see the reflection in the mirror, that is also perception. Oh, this mirror. Then concave and other type of mirrors, they will give you different type of images. So, this is the opposition. They criticize this philosophy in this way. Perception only cannot be the valid way of knowledge. Friends, many of you know about this philosophy, but here the first thing is, every philosophy we have to remember, it is only arguing on the basis of knowledge and how we are getting that knowledge, receiving that knowledge. Now, here perception reveals only this material world composed of 4 bhutas. Bhuta means the element. What are that? Air, fire, water and earth. What is the 5th one? Air, then fire, then water and earth and space. The space, this Charvaka, they don't accept. Why? They don't understand. They can't see, they can touch, they can't feel, so they reject. So, this is the difference. They say we cannot accept the space. Why? Because only the 4 things that we can feel. Air we cannot see, but we can feel. And the fire, the water, the earth, these are the four things. He never believed in soul or creator, a light after death or God. And survival of man is most important in Charvaka philosophy. And they say their highest aim of life is enjoyment. You do not know what is going to happen after your death. So why do you think about your creator and the creation and all this? This life, just enjoy. Then afterwards, where you are going to, don't think about that. So most of the people, they liked it. Oh, this is a good thing. And that is true. Why should we have to all constrain ourselves, enjoy as maximum as possible? Because what is going to happen after life, I don't care. So that's why they became very popular. Charu Baka. Charu means very attractive. Baka means the words. So is that the Charvaka system. Who is the creator? They don't bother. How the creation came? They don't bother. What they bother? Only this life. And then in this life, you live as maximum as possible by enjoyment. Now comes the Jain philosophy. In the Jain philosophy, a long line of teachers. They call 24 Tirthankaras or liberated teachers. And the last one is Vardhamana, or very popularly known as Mahavira. The Hindus are having a Mahavir, Jains are also having the last Tirthankar as the Mahavir. Our Mahavir is connected with Ramachandra, and our Mahavir is the last Tirthankara. Jain philosophy admits the three kinds of mode of knowledge: perception, inference and testimony. Now, mode of knowledge. First is perception. We have already discussed about the perception. And second is inference. As everyone is having the eyes, I am also, surely I am having the eyes. So, that is called inference. And then all people coming back from America, and they are praising about America. This man, that man, that man, that man, whomever I met, when they came back after visiting America, they were telling that America is a vast country, white-skinned people they live, their life is this, that. So when I hear from many, I infer that America is like this, though I have not seen the picture, but inference. So this is called the inference. And then finally testimony. Testimony, believing on the words. But here we must be very careful. Who is the person telling it? In the Bhagavad Gita, in one place, Arjuna, who was doubting Sri Krishna because he never saw him in a divine mood. He saw him just like him. So they were friends. Then suddenly in that war field, Kurukshetra, Krishna was telling these, then he was wondering. Then afterwards he believed that Krishna is God. Krishnastu Bhagavan Sayam. And today evening I am going to give that lecture in the Hindu temple, this Lemont. So this is called Krishna is God. When Krishna told, do you believe? Because he was doubting, he was a friend. Do you think I am God? Yes. How do you believe that? Then he said that so many great souls told about it. So when all these people, the Narada, then famous sages and saints, they are telling, announcing that you are God, you must be God. So why I believe on that particular person? Because he is truthful. And whatever he says exactly. You know, the administration, the many people they go for studying administration. And basic of administration is to understand people's words. Because the Prime Minister cannot go to everything to understand. All informations are coming. If it is distorted information, You know how the Japanese were defeated by the hands of the Americans? Wrong information. Just one person casually, by mistake, gave a wrong information. I was reading that yesterday. And when the Japanese, they were very ready and they were very powerful, Americans were not, but Americans very nicely, they calculated everything, they were going. And the scout plane, they understood that, they saw the fleet is coming, American fleet is coming, but they miscalculated the distance. When they said 150 miles, apparently 150 nautical miles away, the Japanese captain in charge of that fleet, this is a long distance. It will take at least 7 days to reach over here. We will see that. Let us go and capture this particular area. That was the base of the Americans. And he sent, and his strategy was, I am going in a little different. His strategy was to send 100%. You know, in the football game, in every game strategy, that particular Japanese commander, his strategy was to attack 100%. First send 25, then send 25. No, all the planes go and bombard. Just in one go, complete it, come back. They went. Because the miscalculation, the wrong information, the Americans were more close to the Japanese fleet. So that whole 3 aircraft carriers were destroyed in that, and Japan broke down because of that. So the information that is coming from whom, how far we can believe him, that is very important. If you are an administrator, even in your home, someone will come and tell, you know what he said about you? You first see who is telling. What is his relation? So here the testimony is like that. When Sri Ramakrishna said, believe me, there is God, you can see God. Only if you follow like this, believe it. Why? He is not going to cheat you in any way. When someone is coming unnecessarily and in his life you cannot find that he has followed the truth, and if he says, I have realized God, keep some reservation. Because we have to check whether it is. Sri Ramakrishna told, you must check a monk day and night, then believe. Because each one can say about God, because the only thing is mind. So if you say, please prove that you have seen God, I will say, first purify your mind, then I will prove. And it will be like Brahma's day to purify your mind. So there is no problem for us. But the scientists, when they say something, immediately the whole world will claim you have to prove it in the laboratory. So that's why the cheating in this religious life is so much. Anyone can become so-called masters. That's why testimony. So 3 things are there. First is perception, inference and testimony. Jains, they do not believe in God. They believe in the Tirthankars. The 24 Tirthankars are there. They believe in them, their words, because they say, we have no idea of God, where is He? But we have seen these people. They lived with us. We know about them, and their words we believe. So this is called perception, direct experience, inference, and also the testimony. These 2 again prove the existence of soul in living bodies. The Jains, they believe the souls in living bodies, and as many bodies, so many souls. And the souls in the body is subject to bondage by karma. So the Hindus, they believe at the same time the Jains and Buddhists. So the Swami Vivekananda said, Buddhism is a rebel child of Hinduism. He just opposed the Hinduism for some reason, not that he was not a Hindu. Jainism also in the same way, the extreme way. Jain do not believe in God, and Jain believe in the words of Tirthankars. So this is the Jain philosophy. How is the creation? Who created this world? Tirthankaras. So that is the way they go. And then comes the Buddhist system of philosophy. But I think I should stop over here, because one of our devotee, he told to give a little time for asking question. But the first thing, if I know, then only I'll answer. If I don't know, I'm not going to answer. So the best way for the monks to be mauna. And people say, this is such a nice, the highly, that great sage, he never talks, because he can't. That's why. So you can please ask question. Excuse me, can you hear him? No, can you please come over here? Maybe others can hear. Slowly. Can stand here. I turn please with the hand so that they can listen.
Please accept my pranam, Maharajji, at your holy feet. I was saying that I sometimes hesitate to ask a question because I'm not sure that I'm interpreting our scriptures correctly, but consciously I will try my best to say in as correct manner as possible. Still, I have a question about this scripture. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna mentioned 4 yogas. One of them is the karma yoga, action, spiritual action. He says, Mayabhi karmnashi asti, pratyavaju na vidyate, solpamapyasya dharmasya, raito mahato bhaya. In the second sentence, he says, Kshipram bhavati dharmatma, shashvat shantim nigachyati, kantaya pratijanahi, nama bhakta pranashya. The first verse that I said, Mayabhi karmnashi asti, pratyavaju na vidyate. Shri Krishna says to Arjuna, when he refused to follow Lord Krishna's instructions in the Mahabharata war, he said, Arjuna, whatever you do for the sake of dharma, whatever you do for the sake of spirituality, will have no adverse effect, nor will it go waste. On the contrary, it will safeguard you from many future dangers. And if you follow that one, then he says, Kshipram bhavati dharmatma, shashvat shantim nigachyati, kantaya pratijanahi nama bhakta pranashya. Arjuna, know it for certain that soon my followers, people who follow the scripture injunctions of the Vedas and the scriptures and Upanishads, they will become true souls, great religious souls, spiritual souls, Kshipam bhavati dharmatma, shashvat shantim nigachyati, and they will ever receive the everlasting peace in their own lifetime. Kantaya pratijanahi, O son of Kunti, know it for certain that my devotees shall never perish if you follow. My question, Maharajji, is to you that if we follow Lord's injunctions and do our work in a very spiritual manner, God will help us. As Sri Ramakrishna also mentioned to Swamiji, when he was giving a
No.
lecture and Swamiji went.
No, he's asking the question.
The question was that how will great sages be born in India again to relieve the humanity from distress, infliction, loneliness and fear.
Right.
That's all. Thank you.
So, his question that he is asking, that if we are working as it has been ordered by Sri Krishna the God in the Bhagavad Gita, so naturally God will save us. That is true, and that is the faith in all religion. If you follow the words of God, then you are saved. And the Moses, the 10 commandments, same he said. If you follow these commandments, the Jesus in the Bible, same in the Quran, and same in our Upanishads, Gita, etc. Now he said, the last that he was asking the question, when this great soul will come again to redeem, so that no one can speculate, that you know, but it says he is always with us. The whenever a person, this world will remain like this. There will be darkness, there will be light, there will be good people, there will be bad people. In every creation it is like this. So when there maximum number of people becoming corrupted, bad, going away from religion, then again God will come to re-establish dharma. That is his promise. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata. So we can only pray that let God come and take care of the human souls. So any other questions? Yeah.
Swamiji, in your opinion, world is becoming more spiritual or less spiritual as the time goes by? What is your opinion?
Swami Vivekananda said, the day Sri Ramakrishna was born, Satya Yuga has started. Now many people, he was asking my opinion whether the world is going towards spirituality or not. See that Swamiji said the Satya Yuga is coming, it has started already. And Satya Yuga means that the more of sattvic qualities. What are the sattvic qualities? That is also listed in the Bhagavad Gita. We can say happiness, goodness, brotherliness, etc., etc. But now we see so many bad things are happening. Why? See, when just before the dawn, the dark is more. When there is a sun, time has come to sun to come, that particular moment you will see the darkness is more, lethargy is more, people like to sleep more. So that is the present condition. But we have to believe on the words of the sages and saints, and that too particularly like a person like Vivekananda. So the good days are coming. Maybe that we won't live, maybe some more generations, but the good days are coming. Why? Because of knowledge. The spread of knowledge, this our present day knowledge through the science, almost each and every corner, the people are learning, understanding each other. Think of our younger days. We never saw TV. We only saw radio and not transistor, big radios. I am not that old, but that was, and then we never knew what is happening here and there. Now anything is happening in any corner of the world, all people, and immediately they are going and trying to help them. Something happened in Nepal, from all over the world people went over there to help them. Is not the sign of religion? The Swapta Guna, they don't care about, I am not only helping my people, my religious followers, they are going to each and every one to help them. This is the Sattvic quality. love for each and everyone, compassion, feeling for each and everyone, and that is coming through knowledge. The more that knowledge will spread, more we can understand the people will be like as they were, we can imagine, in Satya Yuga. So, in my opinion, specifically, we are traveling towards the truth, happiness, peace, and tranquility. Thank you.
I have something to ask.
Yeah.
actually. In the Christian religion, when God created the world, when you read Genesis, they'll say there was a tree of the truth, and that's the tree you should not eat. You should not eat, Adam and Eve, or not truth, sorry, knowledge. And that part I don't understand. Knowledge is a good thing, what I understand. But why would this religion forbid the first human, the recorded human, not to eat from the tree of knowledge? I mean, maybe you can.
See, there are two types of knowledge there, right? The one is good, another is bad. In the Christian theology, they like to say bad knowledge, egoistic knowledge. She was asking in the Christian the philosophy why they asked not to take the fruit of knowledge that was taken by Adam and Eve. So that's naturally we can understand in our way, as we can give the answer, the knowledge at two different times. One is adhyatmic, another is very worldly. I was in a school, and there, the Ramakrishna Mission school, morality always the first thing. You should not copy, you should not tell lies, you should not do this, you should not do that. Then one day I heard a father is telling his son, I don't care how you are getting the marks, but I only want to see you that you have got a lot of marks. For that, if you have to cheat, you have to bribe your teacher, go ahead. Father. And he has kept that boy with us. Now I was thinking instead of the son, we should admit the father. So naturally, the two different type of knowledges. The father is basically worldly. He knows that if the son is getting more number, he will get better chances afterwards. His life, material life will be very good. He is not caring about the spiritual life. Afterwards, that person will suffer. So the Christian, they say, don't eat that bad fruits. So that is the main reason. We also say to our children similarly. I think, any other? Okay. Again, friends, we will, of course, we are not in hurry. This is only we are discussing how we are reaching to the root through different point of view. And today we could reach up to this basic of philosophy, and then Charvaka and Jains. And from the next day, we will again go for Buddhism, and then others. We will conclude with Vedanta. Now, before I conclude with that stotra, let me announce that the two new CDs have come. One is why we should meditate. You know that I was delivering the lecture for last 2 years and few months. Now it is complete. The complete set in 3 DVD CDs it has come. Each CD is containing 24 or 25 lectures. That means 25 hours. So when you are driving and you are afraid there will be a lot of traffic, put that, listen. And that's called the number 3. And then again the Panchama Veda, which is still continuing, there is also the third one has come. Third means containing, as I told, 24 or 25, that means 75 lectures, 75 hours. So that is the announcement. And at the 4th September, we will have in the year itself that Krishna Puja, Krishna Janmashtami. So that I think we will send you the flyers. Let us chant this mantra, the remembering that We are Atman and not this body, mind. Naham manusyo nacha deva yaksha na brahmana kshatriya vaishya shudraha na brahmachari na grihi banastava vikshurna cha aham nija bodha sarupa. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.